All right, we have a San Francisco 49ers update in regards to Jauan Jennings and the potential of a contract negotiation for him. As we know, he requested a trade right before training camp. Then Kyle Shanahan said he didn't request a trade. He practiced, and then we haven't seen Jauan Jennings since he messed up his calf. Tim Kawakami of The Athletic has actually put out our first kind of sourced report on the potential of Jauan Jennings still getting a contract extension. This is what Tim Kawakami wrote. I've heard that the two sides are not close on a new agreement, which shouldn't be a surprise after the 49ers rounds of cost cutting last spring set up their new deals with Brock Purdy, Fred Warner, and George Kittle. Beyond that, the 49ers have clearly indicated that there isn't much money to pay out, and certainly not a wide receiver with Ayuk's $30 million a year deal already on the books. Also within this, Tim Kawakami talked about the fact that the 49ers paid Jauan Jennings at the beginning of last offseason, and they weren't looking to pay him again this offseason. Obviously, he was the 49ers wide receiver one last year, nearly had 1,000 yards receiving, got ejected in that Cardinals game due to blocking too hard. So this is an interesting one, right? Because I saw Jauan Jennings at practice today. He was doing rehab work off to the side, very light rehab work, nothing crazy. So it does seem like that calf injury is something that is bothering him. And you've heard the 49ers reference this calf injury multiple times. They said he had a calf injury last year. He had a calf injury at the beginning of the offseason program, an OTA mandatory minicamp, and then he re-injured his calf in training camp. So that is one of the elements that go into the conversations regarding a contract negotiation. Health. Are you prone to injury? Are you prone to re-injury? What are the real concerns for this team if they were to sign Jauan Jennings, who is, I believe, 28 years old, going to be 29 soon, getting to that point in his career. Although worthy of a new contract, it's just one of those situations where the 49ers have doled out probably all the money that they have allotted for on the books this season. And although Jennings is worthy of getting a new deal, he is underpaid. But again, to pay him market value, I don't know if that's in the cards for the 49ers right now. That's the dilemma, is you value the player, you value the person, he means a lot to your team, but to pay him market value, that means you have to overextend yourself, potentially hurt yourself further on down the road. And we already know that the 49ers are a little bit sensitive to the Brandon Ayuk situation, as Tim Kawakami had already mentioned. So based on this, and I would have to believe that they're going to ask Jauan to play the final year of this deal and then head into this next free agency period as a unrestricted free agent. That would likely mean he signs elsewhere. He doesn't return to the San Francisco 49ers. But it also does kind of feel like the 49ers were preparing for this. They did draft Ricky Pearsall. They did draft Jacob Cowing. They did draft Jordan Watkins. Unfortunately, all three that I just named have been often injured, which is the story for almost all 49ers right now. So it becomes interesting. You have Amari Cooper still out there in the free agent market. There were murmurs that the 49ers and Keenan Allen were in communications about potentially having a deal done. Money seemed to be the issue. You saw what he signed for with the Chargers. That probably wasn't going to work with the San Francisco 49ers, so that makes sense. But the 49ers have there's Gabe Davis, who's available, who said openly that he wants to sign with the 49ers. So it is going to be very fascinating to see, because I think the roster gymnastics that this team has to orchestrate right now is Ayuk's going to be on your roster, Pearsall is going to be on your roster, Jauan Jennings, Jordan Watkins, Jacob Cowing, and likely that last spot is going to go to Demarcus Robinson, who has been great throughout training camp. But if they keep one extra, who does that go to? And that probably is going to go to Russell Gage. So I don't know. I don't think it's a great situation for either sides. I don't think it's great for Jauan. I don't think it's great for the 49ers. And I think ultimately what is going to happen is Jauan is going to play this final year, and he is going to head into free agency and sign elsewhere next offseason. It sucks. We like Jauan. Jauan is, a great player, great blocker, gritty, tough, all of those things that you love. But unfortunately, there is a breaking point when it comes to dollars and cents, and that just seems to be where we're at. So we'll see how this plays out. I think I know how it will. You let me know how you think it will in the comments below, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.